What happens when the absolute ruler of the known world attempts to subjugate a fierce, undefeated nomadic queen? By the 6th century BC, Cyrus the Great had built the Achaemenid Empire. Through relentless conquest, he amassed a territory of unimaginable wealth that stretched from the edges of modern-day Greece all the way to Afghanistan. He enforced his will using a massive military machine. These soldiers fought in disciplined ranks, wearing standardized armor and executing sophisticated tactics that crushed nearly every civilization they encountered. Decades of unchallenged victories gave Cyrus a dangerous level of confidence. He assumed the entire world would inevitably submit to his highly structured imperial order. But to expand his borders further north, Cyrus had to leave his walled cities behind and enter the Eurasian grasslands. This was the territory of the Massagetae. They were an uncompromising nomadic tribe with primal customs. They drank horse milk, sacrificed swift animals to their sun god, and practiced cannibalistic rituals involving their own deceased elders. They were led by a widowed ruler named Queen Tomyris. Hoping to secure her lands without sacrificing his troops, Cyrus sent emissaries to the steppes with a marriage proposal. Tomyris immediately saw through the political theater. She knew Cyrus wanted her territory, not a wife, and she outright rejected the offer. With his political theater rejected, Cyrus ordered his engineers to branch the border rivers. This territorial expansion would now be decided by the direct application of force. Denied an easy diplomatic victory, Cyrus crossed into Massagetae territory. But rather than face the nomads in an honorable fight, he relied on deception. Cyrus orders his heavily armed forces to fall back, leaving his weakest troops to guard a banquet stocked with wine. Prince Spargapaces leads his warriors into the bait camp, slaughters the remaining Persians, and his men sit down to enjoy the feast. The Massagetae survived on a diet of livestock and natural springs. They had never encountered fermented grapes. Within hours, the alcohol overpowers their systems, leaving the war party in a blackout stupor. The trap worked perfectly. Cyrus secured a tactical advantage, but he did so by abandoning his military superiority in favor of a cheap trick. In the middle of the night, Cyrus returns with his elite shock troops, slaughtering the defenseless, unconscious Massagetae warriors and capturing Prince Spargapaces alive. When the young prince finally wakes up sober, the reality of his situation sets in. He wasn't defeated by superior combat skills. He was humiliated by a beverage he didn't understand. Unable to bear the crushing shame of his capture, Spargapaces waits until his restraints are removed. Once his hands are free, he takes his own life. The suicide of the prince changed the stakes of the war. Cyrus moved past a simple border dispute and into the realm of a direct, inescapable vendetta. When word reaches Queen Tomyris, her grief hardens into absolute rage. She sends a chilling message to Cyrus, condemning him for using the fruit of the vine to trick her son rather than facing him on the battlefield. She makes a sacred vow to her sun god. If Cyrus refuses to leave her lands, she promises to personally quench the Persian king's thirst for blood. Cyrus ignores the threat. The two massive armies finally collide in what the ancient historian Herodotus recorded as the fiercest battle ever fought between non-Greeks. The Massagetae charged with a ferocity that stunned the Persian veterans. Driven by the memory of their lost prince, they hacked through the enemy formations. All of the sophisticated tactics and disciplined formations that built the Achaemenid Empire shatter against the raw, primal rage of a warrior culture fighting for vengeance. The Persian lines break. In the chaos and the mud, Cyrus the Great is killed. After the slaughter ends, Queen Tomyris walks the aftermath of the battlefield. She locates the corpse of the Persian king, and she severs his head. She fills a leather pouch with human blood and plunges the severed head inside, declaring she has finally given the conqueror his fill. Back in his homeland, a massive, tiered stone tomb would be erected in his honor, a monument to a lifetime of conquest, but he would never rest in it. Cyrus built the largest empire on earth through meticulous planning and overwhelming force, yet he died in the dirt, stripped of his dignity, because he assumed his power exempted him from honor, a fatal miscalculation against a mother with nothing left to lose.